All right, everybody, I'm back with more Phoenix Wright. All right, well, not Phoenix Wright. Opa. Miles Edgeworth. Got to get used to that. Ace Attorney Investigations. Oh, Von Karma, that hottie. God, I remember her. God. Anyway, another anime waifu. Turnabout Airlines. All right, before we continue, please do me a huge favor and leave me a like and comment. Let me know what you think of Ace Attorney and which one was your favorite games. So, let me get something prepared because I know I'm gonna, as soon as there's an investigation get going, I need some, I'm gonna need some help, so I'm gonna get some video ready. 1 second here. All right. The murder that occurred in my office. The return of the great thief Yadakarasu. Thinking back, everything began on that fateful day 2 days ago. Where's Phoenix in all this? He's on vacation or something? Yes, everything began high up in the air, 9,000 feet in the air to be precise. Thank you for flying GoU Airlines. We are currently experiencing some slight turbulence. We are asking all passengers to please return to their seats and fasten their seatbelts. This is like very luxurious airlines. It's extra first class. March 12, 6:13 a.m. Flight G390, first floor lounge. Love the animation. Why do I feel like I just woke up from a horrible nightmare? 6:13, huh? Guess I was out cold for about 10 minutes. Huh, slight turbulence indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, we are currently experiencing some slight turbulence. For your safety, we ask you that you return to your seats and fasten your seatbelts. I suppose turbulence is to be expected on a flight. So immediately, I'm less than comfortable with anything resembling earthquakes. What's this? A travel wallet? But it's not mine. Why did someone else's travel wallet wind up in my pocket? My head. I want this headache to go away. I'll take care of this travel wallet later, or hand it off to an attendant. From earthquake-like turbulence to an elevator. What am I doing hesitating like this? Actually, I know full well why I hesitate. It was when I was still but a young child. I was caught up in a murder that happened in an elevator. How long am I going to let my past haunt me? It's just an elevator. I'm a grown man now. I need to behave like one. What? What the? What in the world happened? Is there something wrong, sir? I must ask that you please return to your... He's dead! Please calm down. We mustn't jump to conclusions without all the facts. What's wrong? Did something happen? You murderer! What? No! You have it all wrong. It wasn't me. March 12th, 6:41 a.m. Flight G390, second floor, first class. That's very first class. He's tied out. What is this, a law book standing next to him? I guess that's his. And somebody's like playing like a video game up front with this little kid with a ridiculous amount of large sundae. This whole entire thing looks so freaking ridiculous. Everyone, I am sorry to interrupt, but I have an important announcement. I am one of your flight attendants today, Rhoda Tenrio. Unfortunately, we have just had a minor accident on this flight. An accident? Don't treat us like we're stupid. I caught a glimpse and it was a murder. What? A murder? What's going on with this flight? Everyone, please calm down. There's no reason to panic. This flight will stay on course and make its scheduled landing. We are still currently in the middle of a rough patch of turbulence. So until we are out of this area of turbulence, I ask that you please remain seated. But someone was killed, right? I mean, what about the killer? Let me off! Please, there is no need to feel threatened. We have already apprehended the culprit. I ask that everyone please remain calm. What the heck is he talking about? Why should we remain calm? My name is Miles Edgeworth. I am a prosecutor and I assure you I am not the killer. Huh, being a prosecutor doesn't make you incapable of murder, buddy. Now, you listen here. I'm not the killer. I'm simply found the body. So you say, however, I'm sure that you are the perpetrator of this crime. I swear on my honor as a professional flight attendant. Oh, is that right? I know what I saw. And there's even very strong incriminating evidence to back me up. What kind of incriminating evidence is she talking about? We've already alerted the proper authorities at our destination. Until we land, you will remain in our custody by the powers vested in our captain. I'm very sorry, but please understand our situation. Your situation? I'm more concerned with mine and the direction it's going in. I'm not about to just sit idly by while I get accused of murder. Miss Tenrio, is it? Yes? I was wondering if you might give me a chance. A chance to do what? A chance to plead my case. And a chance to ask what you mean by incriminating evidence just now. To accuse a passenger of such a grave crime without allowing him to give a proper defense. Can the professional flight attendant inside of you really call this action righteous? You have a point. Very well, I'll listen to what you have to say. But be wary of what you reveal. I'm afraid you'll only look even more suspicious if your explanation fails to satisfy. I also do not have the time to deal with you all day, so please make it quick. Of course, as you wish. Good. Very well then, let's get started. I know for a fact that I didn't kill that man in the elevator. What I don't know is what sort of evidence she has up her sleeve. But I'm certain it doesn't fit with how the crime really occurred. I swear to tell the whole truth as a professional flight attendant. Unfortunately for you, Mr. Edgeworth, I am certain you are the killer. The scene I saw in front of the elevator, it was you standing there with fresh blood dripping off the murder weapon. So if you would please cooperate, we'll turn you over just as soon as we land. That's it? That's her evidence? I don't think you could ask for more perfect witness testimony. It's flimsy. You only saw a dude standing by. It's only like an accusation. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Edgeworth? Not really. It's hardly perfect when there's a gaping hole in it.
Hold it!
Tell me what exactly puts the pro in professional flight attendant for you. Well, it means we are very professional about how we take care of our passengers. Services like fetching papers and responding to calls are done with speed and accuracy. I can assure you that I give testimonies with the same level of professionalism. I'm sure you already realize that by now, right? It's a bit hard to appreciate your professionalism when I'm the one under suspicion. And there you have it. My professional testimony is accurate and reliable.
Hold it!
You certainly seem sure of yourself. Of course, a professional flight attendant can afford to make mistakes after all. Perhaps, but you must admit there are a few who can look at a murder with a clear mind. We attendants all go through extensive training and are always calm and collected. We'll even commonly serve you coffee if you wish, as the plane makes a splashdown. Fail to see how that would be the calm and rational thing to do in an emergency. Even until the bitter end, we are there to serve the passengers. That is the duty of all professional flight attendants. You certainly are confident. Anyway, shall we return to your testimony?
Hold it!
Yes? What did you see in front of the elevator? That's what I just about to tell you, Miss Edgeworth. Framed by the elevator doors and bathed in the light coming from within.
Hold it!
The murder weapon dripping with blood? Really now? Really now? I swear that was the grisly scene I saw before me. Thank goodness it wasn't a passenger who saw, or there'll be whispered panic by now. As I recall, you were quite panicked yourself at the time. Excuse me? You were scared enough to misread the situation and accuse me of murder. Nonsense! Professional flight attendants cannot afford to be that flustered. I witnessed the murder scene and I am now listening to your defense, all with a smile. Apparently, you also lie with a smile on your face.
Hold it!
I am not the culprit, and yet you would keep these restraints on me? Mr. Edgeworth, please try to understand what kind of situation you're in right now. Matter of fact, where is the, what do you call those people, those officers that's, secretly on the planes in case something happens? What do you call those guys? Not fire marshal, crap. What do you call those guys? But you know what I mean, like those secret officers that's on the planes in case something happens. Where are those guys? What exactly is my situation? I have the backing of the captain to keep you bound in this way. We are within our legal right to restrain anyone who might threaten our captain mid-flight. In essence, you're in the same situation as someone who has been arrested by the police. I am to stay restrained until I can clear up all of her doubts. At least I'm close. Her mistake shines like the silver lining on a dark rain cloud. And I'm going to capture some of the light with evidence.
Objection!
Miss Tenryu, well, what is it with you? What is it with the yelling all of a sudden? Ugh, force of habit. Well, it doesn't matter. Miss Tenryu, you say you saw the murder weapon dripping with blood. Is that correct? Yes, all that blood. Drip, drip, drip. Just recalling that scene sends a chill down my spine. Sorry, but your so-called professional flight attendant training has failed you. What? I'd like to direct your attention to this. Do you know what this is? It's a travel wallet, right? But it looks a little big and bulky. The thing you saw me holding when I discovered the dead body in the elevator was this very travel wallet, Miss Tenryu. What? Impossible! Now then, do you still think I am the killer? That I killed him with a travel wallet? But I saw blood dripping from the wallet. I know I did. As you can see, this wallet is clearly stained. But if you would be so kind to take a whiff, I think you agree it's only grape juice. Or wine, if I'm imagining. It's kind of like Kids WB version of like grape juice. It's actually probably alcohol. Then. That's right, you mistook grape juice for blood. The murder weapon dripping with blood does not, in fact, exist. No! There, that should clear up that pesky accusation. Hold it! Wait just a second. That is... I mean, even a wallet could be deadly if it was wrapped around something heavy. I demand that you show me what's inside, please. She's trembling, and that tacked on please at the end sounds like I've got to her. There's no need to look inside. Even you can tell from its appearance that it's light. No, I can't be sure of anything until I see the contents of that wallet for myself. She's a persistent one. I suppose we have no choice but to see what's inside. Miss Tenryu, if you would be so kind as to open the wallet and check its contents for me. Alright, I usually don't pry into passengers' belongings, but we have no choice here. It seems that this passport is all that's in here. As you saw, there's nothing but a passport inside. This renders your wallet was the murder weapon argument moot. Wouldn't you agree? Oh, Dick. Please hear me out, Mr. Edgeworth. What is it now? Well, I was wondering, whose passport is it exactly? Can I take a look? Why not? I'm rather curious myself. This is... Acme Hicks. Or Hicks Acme. Republic of Virginia. Just as I thought, this travel wallet belonged to Mr. Acme Hicks, which makes it the victim's property. You stole the victim's wallet? Didn't you? How dare you? You said it yourself. You claimed to be holding this wallet in your hands when I found you. Perhaps I did misconstrue the wallet for the murder weapon, but it seems that I wasn't wrong about who the culprit is. As you claim, the murder weapon is not the travel wallet. However, it is something you stole from Mr. Hicks after you were done with the vile deed. I find it hard to believe myself, but your motive was very simple. You were out to steal Mr. Hicks' money, weren't you? So even though I didn't have the murder weapon on me, you still suspect me, I see. You stood up at the crime scene with the victim's wallet in your hands. How can I turn a blind eye and not suspect you of foul play? Shouldn't that be proof enough for you that I did not murder the victim? Not at all. Oh, and why not? Because that wallet may not have been what I thought it was.
Hold it!
You think I stole it? Yes, I'm very sorry to say it, and I wouldn't usually be so rude, but it must be said. I never thought I'd see the day, but here I am calling a passenger a thief. Maybe I should put on a serious face and say it more directly. I believe you removed the wallet from the victim's personage. It really doesn't matter how you phrase it. What I'd like to know is why you think I stole Mr. Hicks' wallet.
Hold it!
I don't think I have any sort of motive to speak of. I never met Mr. Hicks before, and our only connection is this one flight. But that is more than enough of a reason. How do you figure? He was sitting in first class, and I think the implication is quite clear.
Hold it!
Is a prosecutor. You think I was after his money? Where did that cockamamie idea come from? True, you are also a passenger in first class, but I thought something was off about you and those deeply etched lines on your forehead. They're not lines, they're perfectly normal and a part of my natural face. I don't think I ever met someone with such a terrible cognizance on a flight before. And that's when it hit me. You have the face of someone with money trouble. She really is making a fool of herself pursuing this line of logic. I should spare her and present the piece of evidence that contradicts her testimony. I wonder if I might get a word in, Miss Tenryu. What is it now? Miss Tenryu, I wonder if you noticed the contradiction within your own testimony. What are you talking about? It's simply impossible that the motive for this murder was monetary theft. One glance at the crime scene should have told you that.
Take that!
If I may direct your attention to the things strewn all over the floor. Ah, that's right. The floor is covered in bills and coinage. By your rationale, these were the very things the killer were after. I think we can assume that the wallet fell during the victim's struggle with his killer. I would think that the killer would have noticed something like money scattering everywhere. Furthermore, as you can see, there was no effort made by the killer to gather the money. But the wallet...
Objection!
Ah yes, the wallet. You will also recall that the only thing in it was Mr. Hicks' passport. If you are really insisting that it was a crime based on greed, then you're claiming that it is all for the empty travel wallet? Forgive me! Please! Hey, what the heck? Are you saying the attendant's wrong? So that guy isn't the killer? Ha! Don't believe it. Don't believe it, everyone. It's a trick. Nah. Will you all please be quiet? Miss Tenryu. Yes? You lost your cool when you saw the dead body. Plus the lounge was dark and looking into the light from the elevator. It's easy to see how you mistook the wallet in my hand for the murder weapon. I take no offense that you thought I was the killer. Mr. Edgeworth, thank you for releasing me. What the hell? All these hieroglyphics. What is it now? Miss Tenryu, if you could please translate, I'd be much obliged. It sounds like Borginian, but I don't understand any of it. There's another attendant on this flight who... I was saying that he is giving the runabout. I don't require an interpreter. I speak English just well, see? You, the attendant. Yes, sir? I want this person to be under arrest until we arrive at the airport. I'm sorry, sir, but what exactly are you hoping for? What is it you want? I am finished talking to the likes of you. Please, I would like to hear why would you like to... I would like to hear why would you like me to be held under arrest until we land. You! How dare you try to waste my time? Pull my finger! You were the one who stuck your nose into my affairs. I wanted to spend even at least one more second with my precious art. I have no time for other things. I know what you are. I see through you. Insolvent. Yes, I am pretty sure that's how you say it in English. Well, I should hope not. Well, I should hope I'm not monetary bankrupt, but I don't think that's what you meant. I'm sorry, but I don't think I caught your name. I am Zinc LeBlanc II. I am a very wealthy man in the Borginia. I am not an ordinary rich man. I am an art dealer, a rich seller of beauty. Mr. LeBlanc, what did you mean just now? Pardon? When you said that Mr. Edgeworth was giving me the runabout? I have to explain? Unbelievable. I will say it once and only once. I do not have even a second to waste. Time is money, as they say. Yes, and yet you continue to blather on. I saw it. Yes, I did. I saw the victim go into the elevator, going down to the lounge. It was exactly 6 o'clock. And what's the significance of that time? At 6, he says. At 6, he says. Wait, you saw him at 6? What's the matter, Mr. Edgeworth? He understands, I see. Miss Attendant, what time did you discover the body? Well, it was a little after that patch of turbulence, so I would say around 6:15. Hicks was his name, was it? Then I say that man Hicks was killed in the 15-minute time span. And the only person in the lounge at that time was this prosecutor, yes. Yeah, I was in my seat the whole time. Me too. I was watching the movie and enjoying a fine glass of grape juice. Yeah, grape juice. Oh, I got something for this. I was still eating. Still haven't finished, see? Jesus, fat boy. The other passengers have an alibi, so you have no problem with them, I suppose. No compliment. No compliant. No compliant, I see. Not a single word against this, right? I have no way of discounting what you have put forth at this point, but it wasn't me. Oh, so you say. But do you have what you say, the evidence? Mr. Edgeworth, are you really the culprit after all? Mr. LeBlanc, I suppose you are quite certain in what you saw. Enough to give testimony? Of course. I was looking at that man the whole time. He was playing with that annoying little, small machine the whole time. Machine? Yes, that was all you people call it in English, yes? It was making me crazy with that click, click, click. And what that description sounds like some sort of small computer. I believe what Mr. LeBlanc is talking about is his cell phone. I have to say that I did see him playing with it quite a bit myself. A simple cell phone, a laptop or organizer I can see, but that's kind of low budget. I hate that noisy little machine in his hand. Not a fragment of beauty. All it produces is ugly sounds. Anyway, I know what I saw. Miss Tenryu. Yes? I was wondering if I might be granted permission to examine the crime scene. What? You want to examine the crime scene? He is a prosecutor, he would be familiar. If you would grant me a little measure of time, I'm sure I can produce the real culprit. I don't like the sound of that. Fox in the duck pen? An owl's ass. Yes, I think that's how you would say it in English. It's fox guarding the hen house. and I believe my innocence was proven earlier. And if I'm given the chance, I can clear up all the remaining doubts. Miss Tenryu, if you will wait until we arrive, there's a good chance that some evidence will have been destroyed by then. I understand. Let me see what the captain has to say. Ha! This should not be approved. Please, Mr. LeBlanc, I'm in an emergency. All decisions are to be made by the captain alone. Now please wait here while I go ask the captain what to do. I'll be right back. You're not planning to erase evidence when you are doing your investigation, yes? Of course not. Ha, we will see. Mr. Edgeworth, you have the captain's permission to investigate the crime scene. What? Unbelievable! I am in your debt, Miss Tenryu. However, there is one condition. I am to supervise you. Can you agree to that? Of course, I see no problem with that stipulation. It's only natural as I am still a suspect in this case. I take full responsibility and will watch Mr. Edgeworth's every move. I hope this is reassurance enough that there will be no foul play. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, shall we proceed? If you should need my help with anything, please feel free to use X to talk. It's time to head to the scene of the crime, the first floor lounge. It's my seat. Unfortunately, I didn't bring anything particularly useful for an investigation. It's not as if I'm constantly prepared for such a thing to occur. This was Mr. Hicks' seat. I don't see the machine Mr. Blanc was talking about. Perhaps it's in the elevator. Maybe we should probably head down to the crime scene now. Hey miss, how's about another glass? Excuse me, but I was wondering if you know anything about the murder? How about it? How about a glass together? I'm sorry, but I must decline. I wasn't talking to you, I was talking to the cute attendant. I'm sorry, but I'm on the clock right now. If you need a refill, I'll be happy to bring you another glass at any time. You got it, Toots. I should have something for this. That's no way to talk to a lady. If I may have a word with you. This steak is so awesome. That's great to hear. However, I would like to ask you a few questions. I was here the whole time. Wouldn't know. Eat or speak. Please pick one. As he chose eating. I think he chose to eat. Yes, I can hear that. This dude's just freaking the heck out. Don't get near me, you criminal. He said, don't get near me, you criminal. I'm not the killer and I intend to prove that starting now. But that's contrary to the facts. He says, but it's contrary. I can understand his English just fine, thank you very much. I knew it's gotta be another attendant. That leads to an emergency escape hatch. You can't go there in the mid-flight. What's the probability that the criminal escaped through here? 100%? Oh, let me finish my thought. I'm 100% certain they didn't. When I'm searching for an answer, only complete thoughts need apply. Excuse me, but may I have a word with you? You there. If you need something, please ask Miss Rhoda over there, okay? What the? Hey, wake up, you! I'm terribly sorry that she's being so rude, Mr. Edgeworth. No need for you to apologize. I just find it hard to believe she's asleep on the job. If I were her boss, I'll see to it that her salary was cut so low that it'll be in the red. In order to preserve the crime scene, I'm afraid the elevator is not in service. To get to the first floor lounge, we should take the stairs. I want to thank you for your help back there, Miss Tenryu. It was nothing. You should thank the captain for granting you permission. And just so everything is perfectly clear, I still don't trust you. Your standing with me hasn't changed one iota. I see. I will bear that in mind. I received an order from the captain earlier. He wanted you to know that we reserve the right to stop your investigation if we feel you are not making progress. And when we do, he asks that you please return to your seat at that time. So my time runs out at his and his crew's discretion, does it? I have to find a way to discredit Mr. LeBlanc's testimony before time's up. I understand. By the way, is there any place you could think of where the killer might hide on board? I don't think so. After every first-class passenger was accounted for at his or her seat, we made a thorough search of the plane. As for the business and economy class, no one can move between those two classes and first class without a staff key card. And we found no record of a key card being used at all, which means that I have a first-class killer on my hands. At least I know that much for sure. And one other thing. No one else has been allowed near the crime scene since the murder was discovered either. Now then, let's get started. Where should we start from? Let's start with Mr. LeBlanc's statements. The crime occurred between 6 a.m. and 6:15 a.m. During that interval, the only person in the lounge was myself, which would make me the prime suspect. However, since I did not kill Mr. Hicks, it means that the killer was around somewhere. If we are to believe what you say is true, then yes. The first order of business will be to gather information to win your trust. There's some spilled grape juice in front of the elevator. I assume it was spilled during the turbulence. Oh, we must clean that up or someone might get hurt. Aha! What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? I found some very important evidence.
Take that!
What is it? They're a little smudged, but I think we can both see there are a set of footprints. So you think? Yes, these belong to our killer. Oh, then maybe we should check the shoe size of everyone in first class. I don't think that will be any help to us. Unfortunately, the prints are too smudged, which will make it hard to get a definitive match. Oh, I see. What floors does this elevator service? Only the first and second, although it can also go down to the cargo hold. However, that requires a flight crew keycard. So the only floors accessible to passengers are the first and second, huh? I won't rest until I I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. Money is strewn all over the floor of the elevator. I would guess it was all in Mr. Hicks's wallet at some point. I wonder what was hanging off this lanyard. Something's missing from this picture, and if I could just put my finger on it. I doubt anyone was expecting to find a dead body in the elevator on this flight. So Mr. Hicks, he's really dead? Yes. She's trembling, although I can't fault her for that when there's a course right here. Mr. Hicks, you're really dead? Then please answer yes. Please answer yes. I see she's over the trembling now, although a new symptom seems to have appeared. Anyway, I should focus on the victim's body. Let's see. There's blood on the back of Mr. Hicks's head. Could this be the cause of death? He appears to have been struck very hard. Even his glasses were broken. What is this? Sinister looking figure on the floor here. Oh, that's a piggy bank for our company mascot, Captain Ugo. It's just one of many pieces of merchandise we sell at our in-flight shop. This bank is a limited edition, and it's so popular that we're down to our last one. You have an in-flight shop? Yes, it's just beyond the lounge to the right. The shutter to the store is closed at the moment, but it was open the whole flight up until Mr. Hicks' body was discovered. There's blood on here. Could this have been the murder weapon? What or who is this? This is a bronze statue of the founder of GoU Airlines, Mr. Ugo Hughes. The one on the left is of when he was in his 40s, and the other is of him in his 80s. Looks no different. Did the man age all over? Did the man age at all over those 40 decades? Maybe I need to squint more. These counter windows offer a glimpse of the sky, but these clouds, they tell me nothing. Mr. Edgeworth, you look like you're talking to the clouds. Is that so? Then tell me, what do you suppose I said to them? I don't know, but it looked like a rather one-sided conversation. The clouds, they tell me nothing. There are a few copies of Sky magazine in the magazine rack. This month's special is an English trivia quiz. That's not a bad idea. I've heard that the youth of today don't know a particle from a participle. Now, please don't go around confusing people with made-up words, Mr. Edgeworth. Who's ever heard of such a silly word as participle? Case in point. These bottles and glasses must have been broken by the turbulence. There's quite a bit of broken glass here. Please be careful when passing through the area. Thank you very much for the warning, Mr. Edgeworth. However, no matter how kind you are towards me, know that it does not clear up any suspicions I have about you. I wasn't warning you for the sake of clearing my name. This door leads to the flight attendant's room, but please understand that it's off limits to unauthorized personnel. The room is giving off the scent of women's perfume. One would think that the perfume would smell great. However, to me, it simply smells. Not that I have any interest in what lies behind this door. Perhaps we should return to the investigation, Mr. Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth? Sorry, I spaced out for a second there. This grand piano is the pride of this plane. It can play the music of whatever CD we insert into its CD drive. That's not a piano, it's more like an overgrown music box. But its keys depress along with the music, as though there really is someone playing it. Some people have entirely too much money to waste on overly complex toys. This toppled over chair, yet another victim of the turbulence. Ah, no! Look at all that grape juice staining the back. You may not look it, but this chair was extremely valuable. It was? Yes, it was used when the Rocker Pals came to tour this plane. The Rocker Pals leader sat in this very chair. I'm sorry, but what are these Rocker Pals? I can't believe you never heard of them. They're all the rage. The Rocker Pals are an extremely popular international band. They added the pals part as they became more popular, especially among teens. Ah, that explains it. I'm not really one for the music of today. Maybe I should ask Detective Gumshoe about them later. On second thought, I can already see how confusing that conversation will get. Glasses and candles thrown into disarray by the turbulence. It's been a while since I've seen this big of a mess. It's terribly embarrassing, but I thought it was an earthquake for a second. And I frantically started searching for gas valves to shut off. I guess the shaking of the plane was bad enough to be mistaken for a real earthquake. But not that I would know, since I was unconscious for most of it. I pity that a bronze statue knows not when a good drink has been spilt on his feet. This is a statue of our founder, Mr. Hugo Hughes, who was a big fan of grape juice. I'm sure he would be thrilled if he knew so much grape juice was here at his feet. Is that a hint of a hero worshipping I detect? There's something sticking out of his pocket. Hope he won't mind if I take a look at what's inside. There's a picture. Looks like it was taken inside a building somewhere. I can see what was on his, necklace clip. Mr. Hicks's machine is nowhere to be found. His machine? His cell phone, Miss Tenryu. So I guess because it's not here. Yes, I think we can safely deduce that the killer took it. All right. I'm just double checking everything. A statue with blood on it lying next to the body of a man who was beaten to death. Oh, Mr. Ezra, I think I figured something out. Yes, what is it? The way the blood is on this, it looks like it matches up with the wound on his head. Well, aren't we deserving of the Master of the Obvious title? Well, what do you think, Mr. Ezra? Don't you think that's worth investigating? It would appear that this figurine is our murder weapon. Oh, I just knew it. I mean, I can't think of any other connection. Perhaps Master of the Obvious would be more befitting. True, there wasn't anyone else in the lounge other than myself right before the turbulence. But if the killer was in the elevator along with the victim, then that's a different story. I have it. I'm sorry, but I don't understand, Mr. Edgeworth. I can prove that someone other than myself was here around the time of the murder. What? Really? Yes. It's rather simple, actually. The proof is in the pudding, or rather the grape juice in this case. These footsteps here confess to me this very fact. That someone exited the elevator alive. Seeing how the victim is dead, that would mean a second person. But couldn't the footprints be from Mr. Hicks himself? But you take a look at our victim's shoes, you can see the soles are spotless. Which means Mr. Hicks wasn't alone in the elevator. In fact, it's quite the opposite. There was actually one other person inside the elevator. What's going on over there? Unforgivable! This is unforgivable! Do you understand what I'm saying? The movie is late! It's the same level of bad as if the plane arrived late. But the movie... What? I will not talk to you anymore. You are just wasting my time. What is the matter, Mr. LeBlanc? If there is no emergency, please return to your seat, sir. Do not tell me what to do. I need not to sit down. Well, Mr. Prosecutor, did you prove you are innocent yet? And these type of passengers on planes are so annoying. It was like a crazy amount after the pandemic where it's like people on flights just wigging out, acting like they got no sense. It's just like so embarrassing. If you would like, I will prove my innocence to you right now. What nonsense! You are saying my eyewitness testimony is mistaken? Not mistaken, merely that there is no room for doubt. Merely there is room for doubt. I'd be most honored if you could please tell me what you saw in detail once more. Fine, suit yourself. Finger guns. I am certain I saw Mr. Hicks enter that elevator. It was when the needles on my pocket watch pointed to the 6 and the 12. The body was discovered 15 minutes after that in the lounge, yes? Then you, the only person in the lounge at the time, must be the criminal. Mr. LeBlanc's conclusions seemed to make logical sense. After all, the only person in the lounge at the supposed time of the murder was me. So, my eyewitness testimony. If you think you can destroy it, then come, let me see. Hurry, do I look like a man who is having the time waiting for you? Why is he so irritated? I'm the one accused of murder here. Anyway, I must find a way to discredit Mr. LeBlanc's account somehow and fast. Mr. LeBlanc, were you able to get a good look at the inside of the elevator at that time? Of course, I saw what was inside. And you are sure that the victim was in the elevator alone? Yes, the only person inside was that Mr. Hicks man. This last outburst is a bit too important to let go.
Hold it!
Was he really alone? Of course. I will bet even at 1 cent. A cheap ante or a cheap testimony. But if that's how you want to play it, I'll happily take your 1 cent.
Hold it!
I assume the pocket watch in this case is the one you keep checking, is that correct? Oh, you notice. It is a very expensive antique, I will have you know. The feeling is wonderful when I fully wind it up by hand. Does it look very well designed? It does look very well designed and quite classy. I will have to charge you if you want to touch it. That's quite alright. Let's continue with your testimony. You know, when I went to like C2E2, there was these kind of like cool looking pocket watches, but didn't have any kind of spare money to buy one. But there's like different variations, and it's like, God, it's just cool to have like a pocket watch, something you can like probably pass down to your children and so on. It's kind of fun. Next time I go to a con, it's like, or at least I see like those kind of like cool little designed pocket watches. Like I might get one. 1 second, everybody. Sorry about that. What a cheap man you are. Now return the time you wasted back to me. And if you must, I saw Mr. Hicks enter the elevator at 6 o'clock. You just said 6:12.
Hold it!
It's true that I found the victim's body at 6:15. And that's when I found the two of them as well. You see, it all matches my testimony.
Hold it!
That is the most mistaken way of thinking I ever heard of. No. Your silly opinion is what is mistaken. Please calm down, the both of you. In a sense, you are both mistaken. Well, if that isn't that pot calling the kettle black, then I don't know what is. I spy a little hole in his words. As you wish, Mr. LeBlanc, I will now show you proof of my innocence.
Objection!
Mr. LeBlanc, what is it? There is a very glaring contradiction in your testimony. What do you mean? Please take a look at the area in front of the elevator. There at the spilled grape juice. Yes, and you will admit you also spilled it with the blood. No, it spilled itself during the turbulence. But the interesting thing here is the set of grape juice footprints. Footprints? Yes, the ones that lead from within the elevator out into the lounge itself. It's evidence that proves that someone other than Mr. Hicks exited the elevator alive. Ugh. There must have been another person in the elevator with Mr. Hicks. Now then, I'm done playing games. Why don't you tell us the truth? Can you please translate for us? No way. That's totally impossible. I guess is what he said. No way. That's totally impossible. I know there was no other person in there. I saw with my own eyes. If you want to know what I think, Mr. Edgeworth, I don't think Mr. LeBlanc is lying to us. I suppose she's right. He doesn't seem to be lying. But then, what does it mean? What about this contradiction? Mr. LeBlanc, please just once more, will you recall the details of what you witnessed for me? One second. Okay, sorry, I'm back. I put some food in the oven. I was very upset when Mr. Hicks passed by my seat. I was always checking the time over and over again. I happened to follow that man with my eyes when he passed me, and I saw clearly into the elevator he was entering. But I swear there was no one else inside. No one! Mr. LeBlanc, if you would please calm down. What? Dare you to have an issue with my eyewitness testimony? Yeah, no, not at all. Please forget I said anything. Yet again, he doesn't appear to be lying. But I can't let this testimony stand, that's the truth.
Hold it!
So you are still upset now? I am always upset. The only time I am not is when I have a piece of art in my hands. It's surprisingly easy to believe that about him. I was even more upset when Mr. Hicks walked by me.
Hold it!
Why were you so attentive to the time? Because something unforgivable was happening. Come to think of it, you were yelling about something unforgivable earlier. I was given a complaint to the attendant about the movie starting time. Return back to my time. In money. You understand the point? Movie. Is he talking about the in-flight one that's mentioned in the magazine? A summary of the plot and its start time. Interesting. You know, I haven't really done an in-flight movie before. It's like I never watched a movie in flight. Maybe it's because the planes I've, flew on didn't have like in-flight movies like that. Because the times I ever flew, I always went on Frontier Airlines. But next year, I'm really hoping I can get a chance to, because I want to try to get this new job, and it pays very well. And with some good saving, I hope I can get some time to get like a week and some change to spend in Japan. And with using a particular airline, it will probably have more than likely an in-flight movie, given the fact that Japan and the US is a day away from each other. Typically. They were supposed to show License to Love, Laugh, Maim, and Murder. I cannot see that movie in my country. You can only see it on international flights. I look forward greatly to that movie. I check my pocket watch whenever possible so I would not miss it. I even set my pocket watch to the destination time when I came aboard. So my watch is not wrong. It matched the schedule. But the movie was still late. Very, very late.
Hold it!
Your pocket watch? I'd like to ask you a little bit more about it if that's alright.
Hold it!
So this movie you mentioned, is it the one listed on the Sky magazine? Yes. I was so looking forward to watching License to Love, Laugh, Maim, and Murder. Miss Tenryu, was this movie shown on this flight? Yes, it was shown at the scheduled time. Isn't it possible you simply slept through it by accident? Nonsense, you doubt me. No, now stop pointing at me like that. Odd. How did he miss a movie that he was so clearly hoping to see? I checked my pocket watch a great number of times. That much I know for sure.
Hold it!
You're sure about what you just testified, Mr. LeBlanc? Oh, yes, of course. I'm a very busy man. I am immediately busy when I land. I have many places to go, and no time to waste adjusting my pocket watch. I see. That was very valuable. That was a very valuable statement you just made. Flatter me all you want, but you will not get 1 cent out of me. That's all right. All I require is this piece of testimony.
Hold it!
Since you only happened to see him, it's possible that you missed something in that glance. Even if I only happened, I did not miss a thing. And how can you be so sure? Just because. I would appreciate it if you didn't take my life so lightly with a simple just because. Well, then I was only making a joke. I saw Mr. Hicks, alright?
Hold it!
Is it possible that someone was hiding inside? What? You dare insult me? I have belief in my eyesight. When I look for art to sell, I am told often I have great sight for the arts. I think the phrase you were looking for was great sense, although that's debatable. But isn't it possible someone was just outside of your line of sight? You are persistent. I tell you, I look clearly.
Hold it!
Why do you insist that you were absolutely not mistaken? Because when I say I'm not wrong, I am not wrong. Mr. LeBlanc, if I may, I think beyond misconceptions and mistakes lies the truth. Funny that it suspiciously mirrors something I told her only a little while ago. I honestly don't think Mr. LeBlanc is lying. I don't think he's lying either. But I think he might be mistaken about something. Mistaken? Yes, and I'm going to correct his mistaken recollection with evidence. And this professional attendant shall witness the prowess of a professional prosecutor.
Objection!
Mr. LeBlanc, you said this just now in your testimony. I even set my pocket watch to the destination time when I came aboard. Now, if your watch has been set to our destination's time zone, it would mean that your watch is displaying the time of our destination. Yes, and the correct time is worth its 6 cents. I would like you to take a look at this. If you believe this Sky magazine, clocks on this flight run in accordance with the time of our departure time zone. Of course, the movie schedule was also created with that in mind. Miss Tenryu, for confirmation's sake, what time zone is this flight aligned to right now? Well, we made a short stop at a transfer point. That's right, it was in that small Asian country, the Republic of Zhengfa. But we didn't readjust our onboard clocks at that time. So right now we are still running on Borgian time. What? The time difference between Borginia and our destination is 9 hours. In that case, it's only natural that your watch would be out of sync with the schedule. What? Further, with your analog watch set to our destination time, it would appear to be running 3 hours fast when compared to the flight's onboard clocks. It also changes everything about your testimony, and you can bet 1 million cents on that. In light of this information, it means you saw Mr. Hicks 3 hours prior at 3 a.m. My 1 million cents! This should clear up all of the remaining accusations. So this basically widens the time frame from the time of death, right? Yes, because Mr. LeBlanc saw the victim enter the elevator at 3 a.m. It means that the time of death could be anywhere between 3 to 6:15 a.m. The question now is, where was Mr. Hicks during that span of time, and what was he doing? I've got something to say. And you are? I'm Cammy Mill. I'm a flight attendant. And what is you wish to say? Well, I think your story is a little different from how I remember it. What do you mean, Cammy? I saw Mr. Hicks sitting in his seat at 5 a.m., you know? What? How can you be so sure of the time? Oh, that's right. He pushed his call button while we were parked at the transfer point. The stop we made for refueling and cargo transfer in Zhengfa, correct? Yes, it was from 4 to 5 a.m. according to our clocks. And during that time, did any of the passengers leave, or did any new ones board this flight? No, not a single person got off or on in Zhengfa. What about the flight crew? The few who were handling the cargo transfer might have temporarily gotten on or off, but eventually everyone, including Cammy and myself, came back on the plane. But basically, I can assume that no one left or got on since our initial takeoff. Interesting. I should keep that in mind. Yeah, and I answered his call. I can tell you Mr. Ackerby Hicks was there in his seat when we took off again at 5 a.m. Alright, then that puts the time of murder between 5 and 6:15 a.m. Okay, now what time did you come down to the lounge, Mr. Edgeworth? I remember coming down here almost as soon as we left the Republic of Zhengfa. You were here the whole time from 5, yes? Then you are the only one who could be the killer. Mr. Edgeworth, are you really here in the lounge the entire time from 5 a.m. onwards? Unfortunately, yes. But then, how do you explain the footprints? It's not that obvious. This man waited for Mr. Hicks here in this lounge, waited to kill him, and then he put the corpse into the elevator. That is when the turbulence happened. My eyewitness testimony may have been mistaken, but what time I saw Mr. Hicks enter the elevator on the second floor does not matter, because the entire incident concluded here in this lounge. Everything happened in this lounge. Is that what you really believe, Mr. LeBlanc? What? Do you have another idea? I simply feel that there is something out of place in the scenario you presented. Is there something that can tie this crime to a location other than this lounge? A second.
Take that!
The murder weapon. This little piggy bank is sold at the in-flight shop. It is sold there and only there, and is not displayed here in this lounge. How then did it find its way here? Don't you find that a tiny bit suspicious? Such a trivial point. It only means you prepared it, taking it from the shop first before coming here. It doesn't prove you are innocent at all. Grr. Is there no way to win with this man? If I may... What is it? You see... Well, it's just as Mr. Edgeworth says. Oh, and why do you know this so well? Well, it's just that piggy bank was there in the shop. I saw it with my own eyes. And when was this? It was maybe around 5:40 a.m. Isn't that just before we hit that patch of turbulence? That's right. You were in the shop just before the turbulence? Yes, I was. Come to think of it, Miss Tenryu, when I found the body, I believe you came out of that door. Yes, I did. And what is beyond that door? That's the flight attendant's room. Then you were on the first floor. Yes. I had to do something at the shop in the flight attendant's room. So I went to the shop first and then to the flight attendant's room. Are you saying you passed by me at some point? Yes, you seemed really into the issue of the Sky magazine you were reading at the time. I don't suppose you noticed me walking by. I vaguely recall someone walking by, but I didn't take notice of who it was. Anyway, the piggy bank was definitely there at the shop when I went there. Why did you go to the shop in the first place? I went there for a work-related matter. Work, you say? Yes, the upkeep of the shop is also one of my responsibilities. Why did you not say anything about that until now is what I want to know. In any case, I believe it's clear that the shop needs to be investigated as well. Shall we head over there then? What is it now? Are you forgetting something, Miss Rhoda? Don't you need the captain's permission to check the shop? No, I haven't forgotten. But I have already asked him for permission to search the entire plane. So I think we're alright. Huh, that's weird. What is? Well, I just talked to the captain, see? And he said that he didn't give you permission to do anything like that at all. What is the meaning of this, Miss Tenryu? It means she's lying. Go on, admit that you are. You say you have permission to search all over, but you don't. And yet, here you are. You, flight attendant, what are you trying to do? Pull the sheep over us? The captain's calling for you, Miss Rhoda. Oh, but don't worry. I've already got permission to search the shop from the captain. See, unlike you, I do things the right way. You were just sleeping on the job earlier. Miss Tenryu, why would you do such a thing? Please excuse me. Looks like I get to be in charge now. Please go back to your seat, Mr. LeBlanc. This girl's busty as hell. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you will follow me, I will be your guide from now on. There's something about Miss Tenryu that has piqued my curiosity. But right now, investigating the in-flight shop is my top priority. Okay, I think that's it for right now. It's gonna be like a part 1. Go ahead. All right. Thank you all for stopping by. I want to know what you guys think of the game so far, but I will see you guys probably in a couple of days because I'll have a new movie review for that day. I'm not gonna stream tomorrow because yeah, gotta take care of a couple of things, but probably deserve a bit of a break, just to catch up on some stuff for further reviews down the line. But until then, I will see you guys later. Take care. Have a pleasant evening.